The investigation has found women who've had their eggs frozen may have been misled by some clinics about their chances of having a baby later in life. The number of women having the procedure in the UK is at a record high and is often advertised as a way for them to delay having children. But the fertility regulator says it's concerned about how success rates are being communicated to patients because there's no guarantee the expensive and invasive procedure will work.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about something that is very common nowadays. You keep seeing it on social media of women deciding to go freeze their eggs. It's become more common of late because dating in the Western world is very, very difficult, and many women see this as an alternative that they can go freeze their eggs, and then in future, once they meet a partner, they can have the kids, or they do it because maybe they have a medical condition. Now, before we continue with this video, please consider liking and subscribing so that we can grow this channel. And let's look at this report from the UK. We're gonna go also to America, and we're gonna see some cases where on top of the cost, sometimes the eggs get destroyed. We're going to look at that. And now let's continue with the video.
Anna Collinson has this report.
Going into the operating theatre, that's when it gets really real.
Ro is about to have her eggs retrieved. The idea, to freeze them at a younger, more fertile point and use them when she's ready to have a baby.
I'm an absolute realist going into this, and I know that freezing my eggs does not guarantee me success of having a child in the future.
Under sedation, a long, thin needle is carefully inserted into each ovary to retrieve her eggs. They're frozen and placed in storage.
Initially, I was just doing one injection.
There's been a boom in egg freezing for non-medical reasons, an idea propelled by celebrities.
I thought what I was doing, right, was showing young lasses and young women that there's like alternatives, that we don't just have to rush into things with potentially the wrong bloke.
Single at 39, Natalie decided to freeze her eggs in 2020, but the science teacher struggled to understand what her chances of having a baby were.
It's just purely now based on trust and hope rather than data and research. I feel it was a journey that I felt very alone on. I don't think I expected, the financial toll. Honestly, it was probably the biggest hit. It was just trying to find the money from anywhere to make this happen.
Fertility clinic websites can be a key source of free information, but analysis by the BBC found 41% of clinics which offer private egg freezing in the UK may have breached advertising guidance. We found some clinics are prominently displaying attractive sounding success rates, but these numbers only cover one stage of the egg freezing journey. The chances of going on to have a baby are far lower, and that isn't always made clear.
Okay, so as you can see now, it's just a business opportunity for the hospitals. They will say anything to drive in foot traffic because the cost of freezing these eggs, that was in the UK, it's thousands of pounds. In America, let's look at average. Based on our friendly AI, says the average is between $8,000 and $30,000 to freeze your eggs in America. And the success rate is not guaranteed because even you might freeze your eggs and then your eggs, yes, it might be kind of successful, higher rates in the first stage, but there are several stages to this. So on top of that, you have to trust these medical places that they're going to take care of your eggs and there won't be any damage. But that's not always the case. Now let's look at this case where a clinic damaged thousands of frozen eggs here in America and it left this woman devastated because, it's very unfortunate. She has paid thousands and thousands of dollars to freeze her eggs, especially in America. I don't think the insurance is going to cover that. Healthcare in America is a mess. So you are paying these thousands and thousands of dollars, and then they get damaged by the clinic because they didn't store it properly, or maybe somebody, I don't know, unplugged so that they can charge their iPhone, and then all the eggs get damaged. But let's see the story.
It's my worst fear realized. It is a nightmare.
Caitlin Gerbach had tumors on her ovaries in her 20s, so she froze 4 embryos and 10 eggs at University Hospital's fertility clinic in Cleveland.
It was my future. It was all, hopes and dreams that I had for the rest of my life were based around being a mom. And now that's, been taken from me.
Gerbach is planning to file suit after learning her embryos and eggs were in the tank that malfunctioned. 2 class action lawsuits were filed this morning in Cleveland. One alleges alarms did go off when the tank became too warm on Saturday night, March 3rd. But, quote, nobody was at the clinic to hear or answer those alarms. By the time the clinic staff returned the next day, it was too late.
This just can't happen. It should never happen again.
That law firm has already heard from families in San Francisco, too. Patients at the Pacific Fertility Clinic just learned of a similar failure. A single piece of equipment lost liquid nitrogen for a brief period of time, the clinic said in part. We have brought in independent experts and are conducting a full investigation. Fertility labs are largely self-regulated, accredited by industry groups, and inspected on average every 2 years. A leading fertility doctor doubts the 2 failures are linked.
To have 2 of these simultaneously happen would be to have a commercial airline crash in both California and Ohio on the same day.
Both labs are apologizing to patients.
We are so very, very sorry. We, again, want to do all that we can to support them.
Lester, the industry group that inspects these labs, most of the fertility labs, told me today that there's no requirement to report problems unless there's a complaint filed or a negative news story. In fact, the clinic in Cleveland didn't report anything until after our story aired last week. The San Francisco lab reported it just yesterday, a week after its malfunction.
Man, that is messed up. So this woman, after paying all that, I don't know, somebody wanted to charge their iPhone or whatever they did, and then the system malfunctioned, and now all that is lost. I don't know what's going to happen because the dating scene keeps on getting worse and worse. People are not getting married. People are not having kids. So many women are resorting to freezing their eggs, but it's also not a guaranteed success. The only people who are happy at the end of the day are these clinics because they're getting all the money. Their business is booming. It is a mess. I guess it's just the clinics and maybe men who are like, I don't know, Nick Cannon or Elon Musk, who just have dozens of babies everywhere. I guess they're the only 2 people who are happy in this scenario. So I don't know what's going to be done, but it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. So please consider liking and subscribing to this channel so that it can look good for the channel, at least, so that it can grow. And of course, share this on all the networks. I will see you.
Oh my goodness, all the networks. Wow. All the networks.